It's time to take a look at the most recent episode of My Little Pony, the one where Pinkie Pie knows. This is an episode that was pretty much straightforward, as a lot of it was given away in the synopsis listed right there in the episode description, and more of it was given away by the Season 5 poster and the Brony speculations. This is indeed the episode where Shining Armor and Cadence are going to have a baby, and they want to surprise Twilight with the news. Pinkie Pie has to keep this fat secret, and she spends the entire episode doing some very predictable guides where every time the word baby, secret, or surprise is mentioned around her, she finds it increasingly more difficult to keep the secret in and has to do various things to avoid revealing the secret. We know from Green Isn't Your Color that keeping secrets is one of Pinkie Pie's highest valued personality traits, along with her Pinkie Promise. So she has a great deal of motivation not to do something that's very hard for her, revealing a major surprise. The rest of the episode is just us wondering if Pinkie Pie will break and reveal the secret, and what events will trigger her to do so if she does. And if she doesn't reveal the secret, did she read the document about the baby arrival correctly, and did her friends really not know the secret? We don't get thrown for any loops in this one. There's absolutely no surprises with the writing. The baby is indeed really happening, and her friends really were genuinely surprised. We get some Shining Armor development when we see how Twilight has his guest room decorated with all of the items that he grew up loving and is going to nostalgically dork out over. We also get a hint of science fiction exists in Equestria storytelling, and that concept is canon to ponies. Ponies apparently fantasize about adventures in outer space. We get some great bit of foreshadowing with all the things that Pinkie Pie had her Pinkie Promise for. The balloon animals at the school, the filing to help the mayor, and the wacky waving inflatable pony being set up for the furniture dealer. I sense tons and tons of very obvious Family Guy references when this inflatable waving balloon pony comes on screen for the next several reactions, and probably a instance in the next Ponies the Anthology. But all of this running around doing other ponies favors is great foreshadowing, because these are all the same places that end up on Shining Armor's scavenger hunt when he challenges Twilight to follow clues while he builds up the reveal of his surprise. And from Pinkie Pie's balloon animal segment, we also learn some of the other things that are canon to equestrian society, like giraffes and flamingos. We get a few nice little background inclusions too, like Derpy and Dinky and Lyra and Bonbon and Berry Punch and a few others, and a nice little visual gag of a new character that resembles Fluttershy's Batside if her Batside was wearing glasses. It also made me think, when I'm watching all of these background ponies doing stuff, there's quite a few ponies who get paired up as couples either referencing them as best friends, romantic interests, or possibly family members. It seems that the fandom mostly ignores most of the background ponies and focuses instead on Lyra, Bon Bon, Derpy, Dr. Hove's Vinyl, and Octavia. A lot of background guides that feature ponies like Carrot Top and Berry Punch seem to continuously go unnoticed by the fandom in general. And we get to see the Cutie Mark Crusaders with their cutie marks. Great to see them back again, but they don't really contribute much to the plot at this particular point. It is nice, however, that this episode did not leak out early or get watched out of order by anyone, because it would have been horrible to have had these cutie marks sprung on us and had us not aware that the cutie marks were going to happen, and then it would have ruined the surprise of the episode right before this. Partially why I'm glad that the leaked episode that depicted the Cutie Mark Crusaders did not have their cutie marks visible on screen during that entire episode. Although I was willing to take that chance, I just didn't think back then, watching the leaked episode, that chance was a realistic possibility. As Pinkie Pie goes about her tasks, we find lots of other ponies challenging her will to keep the secret. Most notably is the mayor, who is also been letting on the secret. Or at least we get that general impression of her being let in on the secret as well. And when the other ponies notice that Pinkie Pie has something going on, and she seems to be holding in something that she doesn't want to tell them, rather than respecting her wish to keep things secret, they try to be good friends and encourage her to say what's on her mind and get it off her chest, assuring her that they're good friends and she can tell them anything. However, since this is a secret she's dealing with and not a personal problem that she needs to air in the open, these offers of friendship start backfiring on her, and she goes into a nightmarish fantasy sequence reminiscent of Discord when he tempted her with the balloons. The end of the episode, all we get is the announcement of the baby. The baby itself has not been born yet. So that means we have a good number of episodes up ahead where we can deal with expecting motherhood and help build up for the arrival of the baby, which should be a major episode in the upcoming seasons. Doubtful that it will arrive prior to season 6. We can also, from here on out, have the new baby as well as old baby characters grow up and age and develop and become interesting characters who can talk and have lines and go on their own adventures, continuing the series for generations after. Whether or not this baby will be the same baby that has been shown off in the toy line has yet to be a thing to be realized or not. And we don't even know if this will be an Earth Pony, Pegasus, Unicorn, or Alicorn baby once it is born. We don't know if everything will go smoothly or if there'll be some kind of drama or epicness involved in the baby's birth either. It also raises the question as to whether or not Cadence and Shining Armor in the Equestria Girls world will also have a baby, as of the third movie, they don't even seem to be in a relationship beyond just friends. I do tend to wonder if anyone can read Applejack's birth certificate. I know it's written in scribbles, but maybe someone out there can decipher her parents' names, which were most likely signed on the certificate. And for a long time we've been getting lots of fan art of things that could happen in My Little Pony. These fan arts have tried and failed to predict what the main six would look like as humans. It's tried and failed to predict what the Cutie Mark Crusaders' Cutie Marks would look like. And it has tried to predict what a foal of shining armor and cadence would look like and what its name could potentially be. The question still is out there because it hasn't been born yet. What will Shining Armor and Cadence's foal look like? Will it be like the fan artists have depicted? Will it be like the toy line has depicted, or will it be something completely different and totally unexpected? Only time will tell. In the meantime, this has been a very decent episode. Not the best episode, certainly nothing that can compare with what we got last week, but it wasn't a bad episode either. It's one that I don't mind watching again, but it lacks the complexity of what I would call a good episode. If only there'd been a little more mystery to the goings-on of the episode, or maybe a fun twist here or there. And that's about all I have to say for this on this subject. And hey, what are you doing down there? Are we doing this Back to the Future guide again? We've had this advertisement last week. What are you doing back here? I had something very important to add to your conversation. In this episode, Shining Armor sends Princess Twilight on a scavenger hunt. As a time traveler, I'm up on all of the generations of My Little Pony, and I just wanted to remind everyone that a scavenger hunt was the theme of an episode during the third generation of the series. In the episode Sweetie Belle's Gumball House Surprise, Sweetie Belle sends her friends on a scavenger hunt very similar to the way Shining Armor sends Twilight on a scavenger hunt. No matter how simple the clues this time around were, it was a far better put-together scavenger hunt and a much better surprise than what was tackled during the previous generation. Now, I have to return to the future and see how this whole episode plays out. I have to make sure that the Brony community is accepting of this new foal now that's arrived. I'm gonna find out what kind of drama happens when we finally have the reveal of what this baby's species and name is, and how the bronies react to its existence. I'll see you the next time there's something relevant to discuss about the time stream. Thank you for that little bit of trivia. Anyhow, like I was saying, that's all I have to say for now. Thank you for watching, and good night.